Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It's White Rice Wednesday, and it's time for my Survivor recap. I have my new Merge Tribe buff here. I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my favorite buffs I own. So let's get started. Mike and Ryan, I forgot Mike. Ryan has an idol, and Mike has an idol. So they're both in really good spots in the game right now, and Mike's concerned that he's on the bottom. I mean, he's on the chopping block because obviously he's on the healer's tribe and there's only 3 left, but he also thinks that the Alliance of 7, they wanted to include Mike, but he feels like he's on the bottom there as well. And Mike's desires to start playing the game and start throwing some names under the bus to hopefully get a target off his back. And what I'm really surprised about from last tribal is the fact that nobody caught on that there was only 10 votes cast. So I gotta give Lauren credit. Lauren played her advantage really well. And Ryan actually does a bold move and tells Devin he has an idol. And Ryan and Devin have been together from day one. I love their alliance. I think those two are great together, but even so, even when you're that close in alliance, it's very risky telling somebody you have an idol. So the reward challenge, they had to swim to a ladder and climb up, and then they had to leap to get 3 keys under the water to unlock some balls and then shoot some baskets. And the reward wasn't that fascinating. They were playing to go on a yacht, to eat sandwiches and chocolate cake. I guess the view was good because I got to see dolphins swim, but it ended up being the team of Joe, Mike, JP, Chrissy, and Cole winning. And Joe and it was really an interesting challenge because Joe and Ben were really shooting the hoops and everything, and I didn't know who was going to win at first, but Joe ended up winning it for them. And on the yacht, Joe's looking for an idol, and I don't think that's anything too out of the ordinary. I mean, we saw last week in the reward challenge that there was an idol clue right there under the spaghetti, so Joe's looking everywhere for an idol, and it would be impressive if he found an idol or an idol clue because it would be his 3rd idol find, and at this point he needs it because if not, he could possibly go home. Cole's in a good spot in the game because he has been on all the reward challenges so far, so he's basically carbo loading for the next immunity challenge, so he does have an advantage by being fed where the other ones are just eating coconuts and rice. And I thought it was so hysterical when they blew the horn on the boat, and then the other tribe mates who lost the challenge, they went and mooned them. I thought that was freaking awesome. Ryan then shoots himself in the foot because he tells Ben he has an idol. I'm like, okay, I can understand maybe why he told Devin, but you told Ben? I mean, why would you do that? I mean, Ryan put it like this, like that he wants to build relationships and who he can trust in this game, but he's already got a potential final 3 in Devin and Chrissy. And Joe is back at camp idol searching, and he's really pissing some people off. Like, I think he's doing it so possibly they'll want to take him to the end because maybe he thinks if he's can be annoying around camp, they'll say, hey, nobody's going to vote for me, so why don't you take me? He actually does call Ashley a goat, saying that Ashley would be the perfect goat, like he would take her to the final 3, and I've seen some goats on Survivor before, but I definitely don't think Ashley's a goat this season, so I thought it was disrespectful of Joe to do that, but he really does know how to get under people's skin, and he really does know how to annoy the other people. Even Chrissy was starting to get annoyed by him, and she's wanted him gone for a while, and now Ashley wants Joe to go home. we see that Ben and Lauren have been close throughout the whole game, and he wants to have somebody else to go to the final three with, so he goes to Devin. And what does he tell Devin? He tells Devin that Ryan has a hidden immunity idol, and the only person Ryan told was Devin, so Devin now knows that Ryan's been telling Ben that he has an idol, so now he lost his alliance in Devin because now Devin doesn't want to work with Ryan because he can't trust him. He's telling people, well, he only told Ben, but he's telling people around camp that he has an idol. So I love Ryan, but I definitely think that was a wrong move because now he lost a potential alliance member in Devin. Um, and now even Devin said himself he wants to move on from that alliance and work with Ben. The immunity challenge was a new one. It was bars resting on your shoulders, and you had to like be in a squat position, and if you went up too high or you went too low and your pot of water fell in the urn, you were gone. And it was it was really funny because Ashley commented about Chrissy's form saying how it was perfect, and she ended up um getting two members to lose their pots, that being JP and I believe it was Mike. And ended up being between Cole and Lauren, and Cole definitely needed this one because, he's on the healers and he's rubbed people the wrong way around camp, so he definitely needed this win, but it was actually Lauren that won the immunity challenge, so congrats to Lauren on that immunity win. So the the way the vote they want to go at camp is Ben wants to do a 4-3 split between Cole and Mike. And the reason why they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket is because the threat that they may have an idol that might be pulled. And I agree with that. I mean, you don't want to vote for all one person and then one of them whips out an idol and plays it for them, and then one person in their group of seven goes home. But it made me think, why would they want to get rid of Mike over Joe? Because Joe's um an easy target. And people don't get, I mean, a threat is what I meant to say. And people don't get why Joe was a threat. And Ashley was trying to explain that Joe is always finding out idols. How do they know if they keep Joe that he won't just find an idol next time and then he's safe? And Joe knows how to play this game. So Ashley's trying to pitch to Ben that Joe needs to go home, and Ben's kind of acting like a dictator in a way, like trying to order them, like basically it's his way or the highway, and Ashley's getting pretty fed up with that, and she speaks to Chrissy, and Chrissy agrees with her that it shouldn't be like a one-way street. And Mike wants to get rid of Ben to try to get rid of the head of that, or as he put it, the king. Oh no, it was actually Joe who said that Ben's like King Arthur at the round table. So he wants to get rid of him, so then maybe the potential person alliance will crumble. And I gotta give Chrissy credit because she has amazing intuition. She was talking to Ben about the vote, saying that they should vote out Joe. And Chrissy says to Ben, what if Mike has an idol? I'm like, she is freaking brilliant. And I'll talk about a tribal. But, yeah, so, at tribal council, the healers are obviously on the chopping block. So it's either going to be Joe, Mike, or Cole, or potentially Ben. Chrissy talks about the whole situation of Joe and how he was targeting her and Ashley. I think Joe's goal there was to maybe get Ashley and Chrissy so riled up that the target will be off his back, and they'll say, oh, well, Chrissy and Ashley are yelling and screaming around camp. We don't want them here. And Mike says that basically they have no moral character in keeping Joe, and saying that they all need to wake up and start playing the game, not playing by tribal. And Ben talks about how Joe's on the chopping block, and mainly it's because of Joe's mouth. And I agree with that. Joe has a huge mouth, and sometimes he doesn't know when to. And Mike actually plays his idol at camp. I mean, at tribal, and I'm wondering who he's gonna play it for because Mike did mention to Joe like, just hold tight, I got your back tonight, and Joe was pretty quiet for at tribal, and that's saying something because Joe, always has something to say, and Mike actually plays it for himself, and I'm thinking, oh, did he play it right? Sure enough, he did play it right, and it came down between Mike and Cole, and it was actually Cole that got sent home. And Cole was one of the people in my draft, and I enjoyed seeing him play. I definitely didn't like his disgusting food habits at times, but I definitely think that Cole was a potential challenge beast had they kept Cole. And I definitely think he could have charmed his way to the end. I mean, or maybe not to the final three, but I definitely think he would have gone farther. I definitely think he would have been a charming challenge beast. So I'm really sorry to see Cole gone, but I hope he gets the chance to play again. It looks like the previews for next week shows that the Alliance of Seven might potentially crumble, which puts Mike and Joe in a good spot. But it only makes you think who's going to go over to Joe and Mike's alliance. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Survivor. If you want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Until next time, stay regal.